Across the plains, still as if holding their breath, the cheetah appears like a streak of lightning tearing through the horizon. Each explosive stride declares that speed can stand in for strength, and that a streamlined body can push past every limit. As that slender body surges forward, the air splits into sharp lines, opening a chase where only precision decides the outcome. The ground seems to stretch and snap beneath its feet, drawing every gaze toward the next burst of acceleration. What happens when the fastest creature on the plains chooses exactly the right moment to strike? The cheetah, the fastest creature on land, the ruler of speed on the African plains. Its body, weighing about 75 to 140 pounds, is built for explosive bursts, with a flexible spine and a long tail that helps maintain balance when changing direction at speeds over 60 miles per hour. But speed does not last forever. The cheetah has only about 20 seconds to pour out its full strength before its body reaches the limit. Living among open plains and low shrubs, it chooses targets within reach. Yet its solitary life makes every catch fragile. With acceleration like an explosion and turns as sharp as sweeping wind, the cheetah turns every stride into a decision that can determine its survival. Impala are a vital food source for the cheetah, making up a large share of its daily diet. With a medium build, weighing around 80 to 165 pounds, and a habit of moving in large herds, they become ideal opportunities on the plains. The hunt often begins in absolute silence. The cheetah lowers its body, blends into the grass, then suddenly bursts into full speed. In just 15 to 20 short seconds, the distance closes as quickly as a single breath. When the target is chosen well, the success rate can reach about 60%, providing an essential supply of protein-rich, energy-filled nutrition that helps the cheetah maintain its strength each day. This is not just a hunt. It is a race against time, where speed, instinct, and timing merge into a single critical decision. And at the end of each chase, nature reminds us that it is not always the fastest that prevails, but the one that can read the rhythm of the land and sky. Compared to impala, wildebeest are a true challenge. Their heavy build, powerful leaps, and strong resistance turn every close approach into a risky gamble. Wildebeest herds often move in long lines, forming a living wall that is hard to break through. This advantage forces the cheetah to choose the right moment, the right individual, and to keep every step of the approach carefully measured. When it accelerates past 60 miles per hour, With strides stretching over 20 feet, its whole body seems to skim just above the grass. The chase only ends when the prey loses balance in a tight turn, opening a brief moment for the cheetah to bring the pursuit to a close. At other times, a group of 2 to 5 cheetahs splits their angles of approach, building combined pressure and disrupting the herd's formation. Each one takes on a specific role, turning the entire chase into a plan that feels pre-calculated in the wild. With vision blocked and constant pressure from different directions, the wildebeest gradually loses its advantage. Across the open plains, every choice has a cost. Speed only matters when it is used at the right moment, and for grazing animals, the strength of the herd remains their most enduring shield. The ostrich, the largest bird in the world, standing over 7 feet tall and often weighing nearly twice as much as a cheetah, has powerful legs that can sprint at over 40 miles per hour and deliver counter moves that make any predator cautious. Yet there are still hunters bold enough to challenge those limits. Instinct and daring drive the cheetah to pursue this high-risk target without hesitation. The encounter is never easy, but if the ostrich relaxes its guard for even half a beat, all 3 cheetahs can rush in from behind, looking for a way to control its legs, the strongest weapon their prey possesses. Surprise becomes the key, and at times the ostrich is overwhelmed by the smooth coordination of the trio, allowing them to earn a hard-fought reward. Even so, in most chases, the ostrich manages to stretch the distance and fade into the distant grass, reminding the cheetah that not every target is worth the energy it demands. Choosing the right prey is the real key to a sustainable path of survival.
The cubs at a distance.
Hyenas are the persistent shadow behind many species, known for their habit of taking over meals and for the tough resilience of their packs. Because of this, they become the most unsettling rivals of the cheetah, a hunter that must stay constantly alert to protect the hard-won prize gained after exhausting chases. The cheetah, a true master of speed, is born to chase rather than to clash head-on. There is no personal hatred between it and the hyena, yet the path of survival keeps bringing them into contact as both move towards the same scarce food in a harsh land. With a sharp sense of smell, hyenas can detect the scent from far away and quickly gather around the spot where a cheetah is dragging its catch. With stubborn determination, they step closer, push forward and apply constant pressure, forcing the cheetah to give ground as the tension rises. The difference in physical strength leads the cheetah to make a wise choice, to prioritize safety and turn speed into its only way out when the circle tightens. The encounter closes in silence as the cheetah withdraws and leaves the meal to the more numerous group. Once again, the plains repeat a familiar truth. In the world of hunters, long-term survival depends not only on strength, but also on knowing when to step back. Across the savanna, the lion holds the power of dominance, while the cheetah relies on finely honed speed. The two species exist in intense competition. The lion not only guards its territory, but also stands as a constant threat, forcing the cheetah to keep its distance to avoid direct conflict. The encounter often begins when a lion spots a cheetah dragging its catch. In that instant, the advantage shifts immediately to the one with muscle and territorial authority. The lion moves in with long, confident strides, while the cheetah abandons its meal at once in exchange for a chance to survive. If the cheetah grows too complacent and is slow to retreat, the lion not only reasserts its claim over the territory, but can also turn that ground into the place where both the prize and the one who claimed it lose their hold. That is why the cheetah must rely on wisdom and caution to endure, knowing that speed may secure the prey. But true survival depends on staying clear of the power of the ruler of the plains. The leopard, a solitary hunter equipped with powerful muscles, remarkable climbing ability, and a habit of pulling its meals high into the trees, is always the most unpredictable rival of the cheetah. An adult leopard can weigh up to 200 pounds, with strong jaws and overwhelming strength that force the cheetah to stay on high alert whenever they share the same hunting grounds. The sharpest contrast lies in how they protect their meals. The leopard uses its strength to carry its prize into the trees, while the cheetah, lacking the same defensive muscle, has to eat quickly on the ground, making it easy for rivals to take over. In close encounters, a single moment of carelessness can push the cheetah into a critical situation. Its body is built for speed rather than impact. Light bones and speed-focused muscles leave it unable to withstand the leopard's formidable bite and power. Even so, direct confrontations rarely last long. The cheetah stays alert, knowing that speed is its greatest asset, but that avoidance is its true strategy for survival. This is not failure. It is a deliberate, wise decision. Across the African savanna, hyenas move like jagged shadows, quiet yet deeply calculating. They carry the label of mere leftovers eaters, but most of their energy is poured into long, organized chases. Every step, Every sharp burst of laughter in the dark is a signal in a tightly coordinated network within the clan. When their prey begins to lose stamina, hyenas do not simply wait to pick up what's left. They actively close the circle, slowly pushing their target out of its advantage. Is the image of a simple scavenger really enough to describe an animal that plans, assigns roles, and keeps up the pursuit with this level of persistence? As midday settles in, the hyena clan spreads out into a wide arc, each individual keeping some distance to better scan the tall grass ahead. They do not wait for the buffalo herd to get lost. They actively sweep through every gap, every fresh hoofprint, every slight movement in the sunlit dust. Just one signal, a young buffalo drifting slightly out of step, is enough to set the whole strategy in motion. The hyena that spots the target immediately steps up the pressure, moving in while letting out its distinctive calls. After just a few echoes, the entire clan is already focused on the same point, gathering fast like streams flowing together downstream. But the prey is not always at a disadvantage. In many moments, the mother buffalo appears right behind her calf, swings around, lowers her horns, and rushes in to block the path in the dusty clearing. The hunt becomes much harder. Every step the hyenas take has to be calculated to avoid sudden charges. Even so, the hyena's real advantage is not in direct force, but in stamina and persistence. They do not let up the pressure and never give the mother buffalo much time to regain her composure. Each steady wave of pursuit slowly wears down her drive to defend. When the mother buffalo is finally forced to slow down from exhaustion, the circle of pursuit tightens. There are no long, heavy clashes, only a constant rhythm of closing in, gradually pushing the calf out of its safe zone, a typical ending to the hyena's patient, unhurried, and highly effective strategy. As the first light of day spreads across the savanna, a herd of wildebeest moves like a river of muscle. They depend on their speed, their strong necks, and their curved hook-like horns for protection. In the world of wildebeest, staying close to the group is the most important shield. But at the far edge, a hyena clan is already waiting. They do not attempt to confront the entire herd. Instead, they watch quietly, searching for a loose link. A youngster falling slightly behind, a lone adult drifting from the main flow, or an older individual tired after a long journey that becomes the ideal target for a long, steady pursuit. When one wildebeest misses the rhythm of the herd, the hyenas immediately tighten their follow line, keeping a consistent pace until the target makes a mistake or loses momentum. Sometimes, in a final effort to break free, a wildebeest rushes into a shallow waterhole, hoping to cut off the chase. But that hope fades quickly. Hyenas are determined swimmers as well. The chase comes to a close as the wildebeest's silhouette slips away behind the tall grasses. Here, victory doesn't belong to the heaviest strike, but to the species that stays persistent, waiting for the smallest misstep to turn it into a survival advantage. When evening settles over the plain, a mother elephant and her calf quietly step away from the herd, moving along the edge of the grassland. The mother, weighing more than 6,000 pounds, stays calm as she leads, while the young calf stays close at her side, learning to read the low vibrations traveling through the ground, an invisible language that keeps elephant families connected across miles. It is in that moment that a clan of hyenas appears. They sense the risk of the calf drifting too far from the herd and begin spreading out, keeping a safe distance as they look for a way to place the pair at a disadvantage. For hyenas, this is a rare opening to test themselves against a much larger opponent. But elephants are not only strong, they rely on each other. The mother quickly releases a deep, far-carrying call. Moments later, other massive gray figures emerge, forming a solid shield around the calf. The adults arrange themselves in layered lines, tusks pointed outward, turning the herd into a true living fortress. Facing that wall of protection, the hyenas have no choice but to pull back. The chase ends before any direct clash can happen. As the night grows darker, not far away lies an old elephant that had collapsed earlier from age. The hyenas quietly make their way toward it, using what nature has left behind, continuing their role as cleaners of the savanna in the endless cycle of the ecosystem. Among the scattered low bushes, a leopard quietly brings its hunt to an end. It is fast, precise, and nearly silent, a solitary artist of the savanna, living by a level of speed that hyenas can rarely match. For the hyena clan, the opportunity does not lie in chasing small antelope. It lies in waiting for another predator to finish the hardest part. The moment a leopard holds its prey on the ground for a little too long, the hyenas appear. One individual moves in first and gives a short call, and within moments the entire clan converges on the same point. Facing this dense wave of pressure, the leopard often chooses the safest option, stepping back to avoid getting hurt. If it reacts in time, it rushes to pull the prey up into a tree, a safe height the hyenas cannot reach. But the leopard is not always quick enough. Just a brief delay allows the hyenas to close in around the prey, cutting off the leopard's return path. The takeover happens in an instant, not through direct force, but through fast gathering and coordinated pressure from multiple directions. In the ecological rhythm of the savanna, this relationship is clear. The leopard is the finisher of the hunt, and the hyenas are the masters of seizing the moment. One commands the explosive instant, while the other controls what comes after. Together, in very different ways, they keep the life of the grasslands in constant motion. Across the open savanna, hyenas and African wild dogs stand as two rare opponents that are almost evenly matched. Both hunt in packs, relying on stamina, long-distance pursuit, and tightly coordinated signals between individuals. And when they cross paths, the balance usually depends on one thing: which side has the greater numbers? Hyenas are powerful with strong jaws, while wild dogs are faster, more agile, and able to change direction with remarkable ease. If the wild dogs are feeding, the hyenas will try to move in from multiple angles to create confusion. But unlike leopards, which often step back when pressured, wild dogs are willing to hold formation and move in sync to protect their meal, as long as their numbers are not lower than the hyenas. When one side has the numerical advantage, the stronger group steadily advances, pressing the other to back away from the food to avoid getting hurt. If both sides are evenly matched, they may occasionally feed within the same narrow space, staying on high alert to avoid unnecessary clashes. Only when the balance tips clearly toward one side will the weaker group choose to withdraw early. This kind of confrontation rarely ends with either side completely forced out, but it clearly reveals the importance of strategy, teamwork, and the ability to read every moment through each coordinated movement. Under the intense midday sun, the hyena clan moves up to the edge of the clearing, where a lioness is guarding the remaining part of the meal. When they only have to face a single lioness, they do not hesitate. Using their advantage in numbers, the hyenas fan out into an arc, creating pressure with cautious steps forward that force her to split her focus, sometimes even pushing her back and opening a brief chance to reach the food. But the moment the shadow of a male lion appears, everything changes. Its massive frame and sudden bursts of power are enough to strip the hyenas of their advantage. When facing a single male, and especially an entire pride, direct confrontation is simply not an option for them. Instinct narrows their choices to two: keep a safe distance or retreat immediately. Most encounters center around that brief window of taking over a meal. When the lions have eaten their fill and temporarily move away, the hyenas rush in, trying to eat whatever they can as quickly as possible before the lions return. It becomes a short race of speed, where every mouthful has to be claimed within just a few breaths. To reduce competition, the male lion also has its own way of keeping the upper hand. It follows scent trails to move near the areas where hyenas raise their young, creating pressure around their den sites so their numbers do not grow too strong. In the opposite direction, if a wandering lion cub appears near the edge of the territory, the hyenas will not ignore the chance to deal with a future threat. These are quiet, yet carefully calculated moves from both sides. Across the wide savanna, hyenas and lions stand as two clearly opposing forces. One a symbol of raw authority, the other an embodiment of endurance and selective daring, which encounter adds a new layer to the balance of survival, where advantage is never permanent, but shifts with every moment, every individual, and every decision made in the span of a heartbeat. Amid the endless runs of the savanna, the cheetah leaves its mark of speed, instinct, and endurance in the face of every challenge. Each encounter is a small slice of nature, where survival is decided in every breath. If these moments help you see the wild world from a deeper perspective, feel free to leave a small sign. Press. Like if you want nature's stories to keep being told in a clear, gentle light. And subscribe to continue traveling with the vast savanna in the next episodes.